Dr Mgcini Tshwaku, who is the MMC for Public Safety in the city of Johannesburg. Good evening to you, sir. Thanks for your time on News at Prime. So certainly we have a safety and security problem in this province. What we're seeing in Diepkloof, what we're seeing in Diepkloof, I think is a reflection of what is happening in many communities who simply do not feel safe due to the increasing levels of criminality. How are you responding to that?
Well, thank you very much, Kathy. Look, we are trying very hard in terms of really, trying to combat crime. We have got more boots that are coming on the ground and all of that. We've been visiting all the regions, Region A, Region G's and all of that. So we've been doing these, the operations. But what is actually outstanding right now, I think that maybe we should, as a department, we need to do. We need to meet with the community leaders, for Diepkloof, because we haven't actually said, and even today yesterday I went to the memorial, service that was there, and I thought that maybe we could have been ourselves, the business people and the churches, we can actually sit down and really try to understand in terms of what are the issues that they, that they actually, they are crying about, and what do they need, because they are actually talking to the SEPs. But remember, we've got a JNPD that is here as well, and the units like your K9 unit, we've got the IOC unit, the SPUs, we've got all the units. But what is needed now is that the community leaders must sit down with the JNPD, devise, the operational plan. And if you know that in the public safety department, we are now in the process of rolling out, the patrollers. And we've seen that these patrollers are actually working very effective in the areas of Alex, because you see, we've got lots of shacks there which are close together. So it needs the people who are able to go inside into those small parts and be able, to patrol. And then you are able to link them with the, with the security forces like yourselves.
The fact that these residents are demanding that the president come to the area can also be read as a lack of confidence in what the provincial and local governments have done till thus far. And it really is an indictment on the city of Johannesburg.
I think that, Kathy, we haven't sat with the leadership at that side, and I thought that meeting we must explain, and set it up.
Is that not part of the problem, though, MMC? The fact that you had these protests taking place from last week already, from a community that has been raising concerns about safety and security for years now, and you as an MMC are saying that as things stand, when we had these latest protests begin, there has not been a meeting between what is the local officials and that community.
Ours, Kathy, immediately when there was, the concerns with the community, the leaders there, there are more boots on the ground. We actually, they were there. We were actually there. The undercover units, we were actually there. Myself, I was there as well. But now we haven't actually had, a formal meeting with the leaders in terms of their concerns. But we've heard, when we went into the community, we met with some of the reverends, and then also with the, the structures there on the ground. They actually told us about the crime now, which is actually happening there. We've deployed a lot of JNPD. They can even tell you. And we even had a memo that was written out to saying that there must be a patrolling.
What is the deployment of a lot of JNPD? How long were they deployed for? So how many people were deployed? For how long were they deployed?
Normally, you will have a deployment of, let's say, in a region, plus minus about 30 or 40 so. But now we've actually taken some more JNPDs from the other regions, in the other areas where it's a bit quiet. So it has been doubled up. And also we've
to how many? So you now have 80.
You're looking at about 80 to about 100. JNPDs which are actually there. And also we're even putting more cars that are there. And also we've even deployed the undercover unit, the IOC, that has been doing an intelligence work. We've actually visited the areas which were the hotspots in there. And also we even had, because we did put some cameras in Ward7 at the fine town. So we're actually going to be putting some of the cameras in this coming week in the hotspots, so that those cameras are linked directly, at the JMPD. But in terms of, yes, there was a march today that is moving up and down like that. But us ourselves at the JMPD, we are on the ground. And we even said that this coming week, because Katie, one of the problems there, and we must actually put it out there, is the taverns which are actually opening up at the early, very early, let's say at about, on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They actually open very early, and they close at the early hours of the morning. And most of the crimes, the rape, what is happening there, and the killings, are as a result of the lots of taverns that are actually there. So this coming Thursday, from actually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're actually having what is called Operation Nightlife, Manje Namhlanje. We're actually going to be taking them on and closing them off, looking at the compliance. Because in each and every street of Alex, at Diepkloof, you've got taverns, and they're operating, and and then when and then also that kind of a crime is actually exacerbated, by the load shedding. So people are coming out there, and then there's load shedding, and people are drunk, they start fighting to each other. So this coming weekend, from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's nightlife. And the undercover
what happens to the other areas? Sorry? What happens to the other areas in the city? Because as I was saying earlier, it can be very easy to get drawn into what is happening in Diepkloof because those residents are protesting.
Yes.
But your officials were out in Diepkloof. We had today residents of Riverlea that, of course, have also been raising concerns around violence in that particular area, particularly related to the illegal mining taking place there, where you have different groups of illegal miners shooting at each other, bringing the community to a standstill. All of this is happening under your watch.
No, Kate, we are aware of the areas which are actually there, and then the operations are actually going to really come. We are actually establishing before the end of this month, latest end of August, we're actually going to be launching a new unit. It's a combination of the IOC unit and also the K9 that are actually going to be dealing with the hijacks, and it's going to be dealing with the illegal mining, the houses Zama issues. And also, Katie, to be honest with you, if you look into the structure of the JMPD, since I actually came in, when we analyzed it, you've got a structure, a directorate that is responsible for the BMU, which is your by-law enforcement, and a very strong structure on the traffic management. Now, and then you do have a structure, the directorate of the special units, but it's not really combating crime in terms very efficiently. So we want to create now a directorate that is going to be crime combating and prevention. So when we're launching, we're going to be launching that, and also the new unit is called the Red Unit. That is the Red Advanced Tactical Unit. That will be dealing now with the illegal mining, the hijackings, and then all of that. And where the problem with the cars, in terms of the fleet that we actually have. So the fleet now contract has been signed. We're rolling out cars now. So we're going to be having cars, the new units. Then we're going to have a plan in terms of combating crime into the city. In the launching of the patrollers, if you see this time, there was this advertisement of the patrollers everywhere. So the patrollers will be everywhere, give us this intelligence so that we can have community-based approach.
Let's leave it there for tonight, Mr. Mgcini Tshwaku, who is the Johannesburg MMC